Sitting here on July 10th, Sixers fans are starting to ask, is it time to panic whether or not Quentin Grimes will be a Philadelphia 76er next year or not? I don't know. I think it's a situation where the 76ers are still in a win now type of spot where they still have the ability to match any contract that Quentin Grimes signs. But the rumors out there have been he wants as much as 25 million. Rumors are that he's probably only going to get 12 to 15. A lot of teams have already made their major moves in regards to their cap space. Some teams, though, like the Utah Jazz with the recent rumor, they could waive and stretch a couple players and be able to sign Quentin Grimes to about a $22 million year deal. Does this guy just want the bag, or does he want a chance, an opportunity to win now? I think if the 76ers have to go anything north of $15 million, they should really consider whether or not they want to match that contract. I think ideally going forward for this Philadelphia 76ers team, your backcourt trio is built around Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, and VJ Edgecombe. Do you really want to be, devoting $15 million in cap space each year, just say on a 4-year, $60 million contract, to your fourth option just in the backcourt in Quentin Grimes? That doesn't even begin to include a player like Joel Embiid and the touches that he gets hopefully for years to come. Paul George, if he's able to kind of come back and all the touches that he'll get. Quentin Grimes on a probably, nightly basis. We'll put VJ Edgecombe to the side for right now because of a rookie and don't want to give him too high of expectations. But going into next season, Quentin Grimes is probably your fifth option. Do you want your fifth option to really be making $15 million a year? And for a guy that played on a bad team last year and got the opportunity to basically have the green light whenever, sure, he showed in flashes what type of player he can be and played some awesome basketball. But he played some awesome basketball for a losing team and a losing style a lot of last season. So I don't really know if I'm all on board of giving Quentin Grimes $15 million. Listen, it was a home run trade last year, a home run deal, being able to do what they did and swap him basically for Caleb Martin. But for the Philadelphia 76ers to have to devote potentially $15 million a year to a guy that will, going forward, ideally be the fourth option in their backcourt, I don't know if that's the wisest move. Maybe you just don't re-sign him, give you some more cap flexibility to go make a trade at the deadline or to make a move next offseason or going forward, and you're not necessarily tied down. It might be the best kind of move right now, and if that's the direction that the Sixers want to go in and have this kind of win-now mentality and do everything, push all the chips in for Joel Embiid and this 25-26 Sixers team in what looks like to be a wide-open Eastern Conference, maybe that is the move you have to make. Maybe you're able to get it down to a 3-year, $45 million deal, and you don't have to worry about that fourth year. Because ideally, 4 years from now, Tyrese Maxey is one of the best guards in the NBA. Jared McCain continues to develop as we saw. And VJ Edgecombe has a, very high ceiling, limitless potential, hopefully. Quentin Grimes could be, an afterthought for the most part. And you get to that down the line, you have to live in the here and now and the present as well, I think, especially with what the Sixers team has currently on the roster. But, it remains to be seen. Like, is that the move that you need to make? I don't think it's a total doomsday scenario if Quentin Grimes does not come back. But let's just revisit the trade real quick and, how he got here and just the overall Quentin Grimes kind of scenario. This is from Philly Voice. One of the saving graces of the hellish season for the Sixers turned out to be their trade deadline with Dallas and Caleb Martin and a 2030 second round pick. That sounds fake to even say. To the Mavericks in exchange for Grimes and the Sixers' own 2025 second rounder back, which was the projected 36 overall pick. I think that wound up being 35, and then the Sixers used that on Janai Broom. So basically, they got Janai Broom, they got Quentin Grimes, and they sent out Martin, who was struggling to fit in with the Sixers, and a 2030 second round pick. Slam dunk play there, home run type of play trade that the Philadelphia 76ers and Daryl Morey were able to pull off. Hat tip to Daryl, and for that, got an extended look at a young player. You were able to get him on, his bird rights, get his restricted free agency rights. But now the Sixers are kind of in a limbo mode, and me and Sean were both alluding to this at the end of the year last year. Like, Quentin Grimes, with how well he played, hell yeah, he's going to continue to shoot the ball like he was at that high of a clip, shoot the ball 15, 20 times a game, and abuse that green light. He was trying to get the most out of his own value. This is a player that was probably, the 76ers expected after they made that trade. Maybe he gets a 3-year, $24 million deal. Now he's probably looking at a 3-year, $45 or a 4-year, $60 million deal. So he kind of outplayed what the Sixers even valued him at, and that puts the Sixers in a bit of a precarious spot, and it goes kind of hand in hand. But the Sixers were in full kind of tank mode. There was no chance that they were letting Tyrese Maxey back, Paul George back. They wanted to make sure they secure that number 3 overall or that first round pick without having to give it up to the Oklahoma City Thunder. But in that scenario, they also let Quentin Grimes kind of outplay his value and make him a little bit more valuable than I think. And I just don't necessarily know if it's the wisest thing to be investing $15 million a year into a guy that's going to be your fourth option, hopefully, within the next year or so in the backcourt behind McCain, Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe. Are all those guys in the long-term plans? I think so. I think that's a great trio to kind of build around for the 76ers, but is this the contract that you want to give out? I don't think it's really time to panic if the 76ers don't make that move. You look at Quentin Grimes and his kind of NBA career statistics. Obviously, last year was his most extended opportunity with the 76ers, averaging 21.9 points per game and 33.7 minutes per game. But you look at his numbers previously before that. Like, he's not putting up anywhere near the amount of shot attempts. And you can look at that both hands. You're like, okay, well, look at what he does when given the opportunity. He makes the most of it. Okay, but also look how many games the 76ers lost. Look, it's not like he was elevating the play of teammates around him. 16.4 shot attempts per game. He's probably going back to that, in between that 7.8 and that the 11 that he averaged for the entire season. I think you kind of find a happy medium of like a 10 field goal attempts per game, and he shot it really well. Obviously 37.3%. And I'm not here trying to say Quentin Grimes is a bad basketball player. He went out there and proved plenty of times last year that he's a very good basketball player and could certainly help the Sixers team. Sure, I would certainly welcome back, but I do think it has to be for the right price. Like, if you're able to get him down to that $12 million deal and you sign him to that 3-year, $36 million deal, I think that's perfect. I think that's a slam dunk type of signing. But you're devoting $15 million to a guy that he's probably going to be your sixth option on the offensive end this year when your team's fully healthy. That remains to be seen if that's a viable strategy and worthwhile spending kind of the last ounce of your cap space. I also am here to say I've been a proponent and advocate for as well. The 76ers have had terrible injury luck and have had a lot of scenarios where they've been missing guys. Sure, it'd be great to have the depth and the ability to roll out consistently 3-guard lineups, whether, just say, for example, VJ Edgecombe misses some time, you're able to roll out Quentin Grimes, Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey. If Tyrese Maxey misses time, you're able to roll out Quentin Grimes, VJ Edgecombe, Jared McCain. And all these guys do a little bit of different things and bring different things to the table. But you kind of look at the large sample size of his career. Quentin Grimes has shown what he is, and I don't think he is a guy that is going to go out there and average 21 points per game. If he does that, I'll shake his hand and say I was wrong. But I think he's more of that 10 to 12 points per game on a given night, and he's your fifth, sixth option on an ideal kind of winning team, winning scenario. And you can point to the other side of the fence and the great stretch of play that he had last year. I mean, some of these performances he had were ridiculous. In the month of March last year, he had a 44-point game. He had a 46-point game. Some of these times where it's like, what the hell is going on? But you also look at all the losses they were racking up. They had 3 wins the entire month of March. And, look at this game where he had the 46 points. 15 of 27, 8 of 14 from 3. You're not going to complain much about that performance, but it's another loss. Like, it's not like he was doing this and he was performing at this high of a level in winning games, winning basketball. I did like the ability that he showed to distribute the basketball, a 10-assist performance, rebound the basketball, a 13-point performance, but I think he played way over his head, and sure, it was a large enough sample size. Like, it's not like this was just the month of March. In all these extended opportunities that he was granted and that he got, he made the most of it, and credit to him. Go get the money if you feel like you deserve it. But I think if he kind of settles back and welcomes in a 3-year, $36 million deal, he has a chance to not only get a good salary from the Philadelphia 76ers on a per-year basis, but also be a valuable contributor to a potential Eastern Conference winning team, I think, next year if the 76ers are able to stay fully healthy. So you look at it from kind of both sides of the fence. It's a Sixers team that has struggled with injuries in the past. They could use all the depth they need. But in an ideal scenario, is your fourth guard really making $15 million? And I understand the salary cap will go up. Things are going to change over the course of time and so on. But I don't know if it's the most logical financial thing, especially if he gets all the way up to that $22 million number that he's apparently wanted, 25 that was reported at the beginning of free agency. But if the Utah Jazz make the necessary moves to be able to go out there and sign him to that $22 million deal, and the Sixers got to give him 3 years for $66 million, I'm staying well away from that, and I'll eat that cap space, and I'll go look to do something else, make a move at the trade deadline, make a move next offseason. But Daryl Morey could be kind of all in on this year, and the only way you're able to bring Quentin Grimes in is if you give him that $15 million over 3-4 years, and he feels financially secure and gets that first big contract at the NBA level. So the Sixers are still in a bit of a predicament here. I'm not pressing the panic button if he doesn't come back, because I think going forward you're gonna revolve your backcourt around those three in Maxey, McCain, and Edgecombe ideally. Will we welcome Quentin Grimes back in open arms? Yes, but I think only at the right price. So love to know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, appreciate you listening, tuning in, liking, subscribing. Make sure you're doing all that good stuff for us here at Sixers Digest. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What's the max number that you would give to Quentin Grimes? Do you think that he deserves to be the number 3 guard or the number 2 guard in this rotation next season? And do you want him back? Is he a must-have back? Are you pressing the panic button right now? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time here on Sixers Digest.